Good morning, dear hearts. We're on lesson 188. Please subscribe. This is a beautiful section of lessons that we're in, and 181 through 200. As the introduction told us, these are lessons that are really meant to widen our horizons and remove all of those blocks that we still have, not only to the awareness of love's presence, but to the awareness of our truth. These lessons are really geared towards us learning and accepting who we are, the truth of who we are. I bless the world because I bless myself. Salvation of the world depends on me. These are lessons that are really bringing forth our own truth and showing how empowered we are because of who we are. And today's lesson is the peace of God. The peace of God is shining in me now. I've sometimes substituted the word peace for light. The light of God is shining in me now, and both are really true. But this lesson, again, another one that's incredibly poetic, beautiful. Parts of it have been set to music by others in the past, and it sometimes reads as a song, in truth. But the lesson begins, why wait for heaven? Why wait for heaven? Those who seek the light are merely covering their eyes. The light is in them now. Enlightenment is but a recognition, not a change at all. We have this already within us, and we get to understand and accept it. Light is not of the world, yet you who bear the light in you are alien here. And we had a lesson not too long ago that, yes, we feel like aliens here. We feel like we don't belong here because this is not our home. Our home is in heaven, and that is why we feel like aliens when we are away from our home. The light came with you from your native home and stayed with you because it is your own. It is the only thing you bring with you from Him who is your source, from God who is our Creator. It shines in you because it lights your home and leads you back to where it came from, and now you are at home when we are led back to our true home, where we belong, where our light is. Of course, we had a lesson, not in the first 50, but shortly thereafter, that you are the light of the world. But we also had lesson 34, which told us that I can see peace instead of this. The peace is possible. I can see peace. Peace is meant for me to see. Peace is meant for me to know. So I could see peace instead of this. I can see peace instead of this. Peace of mind is clearly an internal matter. The peace, the light begins from within us, and then it emanates out. It must begin with your own thoughts and then extend outward. It is from your peace of mind that a peaceful perception of the world arises. So, in today's lesson, that the peace of God is shining in me now, it's because it has come from within me, and I am ready for it to truly shine outward and to cover everything. Paragraph 3 in today's lesson says, the peace of God is shining in you now, and from your heart extends around the world, an internal matter. It comes from within. It pauses, this peace pauses to caress each living thing and leaves a blessing with it that remains forever and forever. And you know how much I love when the Course refers to every living thing. And that's what our peace, our light does. It blesses, caresses, holds, and I'm not going to say polishes, but it brings out the light in everything. That's what our peace, our light does. What it gives must be eternal. It removes all thoughts of the ephemeral and the valueless. I will not value what is valueless. The peace of God is definitely filled with value for me and for all living things. It brings renewal to all tired hearts and lights all vision as it passes by. All of its gifts are given everyone, and everyone unites in giving thanks to you who give and you who have received, which we were just speaking of the other day about giving and receiving. And I bless the world because I bless myself, and I must receive that blessing because I am giving that blessing, and it will come back. And all of our blessings, all of God's gifts come back thousands and 10,000s more than when they were given. The peace of God can never be contained. The peace of God must go out and must touch every part of this tired world that needs to be healed, that needs to know that it is really the underside of what is real. Let it turn itself inside out to find its truth. Within every living thing is the truth. Within us is our truth. It is not outside. It is not somewhere I can go to find it. The truth of everyone is within. The peace of God can never be contained, and it will come and it will bless and it will transform everything. Remember, as enlightenment, it's not a change, it's a recognition. So the recognition of the peace of God when all living things will happen. Who recognizes it, the peace of God within himself, must give it. All that we receive, we must give, because that's how we know we have, and every gift is meant to be shared. And the means for giving it are in his understanding. He forgives because he recognized the truth in him. The peace of God is shining in you now and in all living things. In quietness, it is acknowledged universally. And let your thoughts fly to the peace within. They know the way. All of our thoughts know the way home, as the child within knows the way home. The thoughts you think with him, with God, they recognize their home, and they point surely to their source, where God the Father and the Son are one. No separation between God the Father and the Son. They are one. God's peace is shining on them, but they must remain with you as well, for they were born within your mind as yours was born in God's. That is how connected that we are. Mind in mind, all mind, we are that. They lead you back to peace from whence they came, to remind you how you must return. We must return home. We must heed our Father's voice. We must not refuse to listen. We are meant to be co-creators with our Father and co-creators of all things that live. For as the peace of God is shining in you, it must shine on them. All living things. All living things is mentioned like 3 times at least within this lesson. All living things. We have to realize I cannot be at home. I cannot be at peace. I cannot be at oneness if I have not included everyone and everything. All beings, sentient and not. All beings, everything that lives, lives because of God. And all living things are meant to come home with us and to have the peace of God shining in them now. Paragraph 9 says, we practice coming nearer to the light in us today. We are the light. We take our wandering thoughts and gently bring them back to where they fall in line with all the thoughts we share with God. All of those remnants of thoughts, all of those partial thoughts, that partial vision, those partial perceptions that we have had, bring them home. And in bringing them home, they too will be healed, and they will find their wholeness within the peace of God. Fall in line with the thoughts we share with God. We will not let them stray. We let the light within our minds direct them to come home. All thoughts, all living things, come home with us. Come home. But now we call them back and wash them clean of strange desires and disordered wishes. We restore to them the holiness of their inheritance. God's love is our inheritance. God's name is our inheritance. And it is the same for all living things. Thus are our minds restored with them, and we acknowledge that the peace of God still shines in us and from us to all living things that share our life, one life. Remember the paragraph from yesterday, the one, the oneness, the one life, the one mind, the one love, everything, our one brother, the one Son, one God, all of the oneness we share with all living things. We will forgive them all, absolving the world from what we thought it did to us. For it is we who make the world as we would have it be. As Buddha said, that, our thoughts will make the world that we are in. The Course tells us the same thing. Now we choose that it be innocent, this world, let it be innocent, devoid of sin and open to salvation, open to atonement, open to forgiveness, open to the truth of the oneness and the peace and the light. And we lay our saving blessing on it as we say, the peace of God is shining in me now. Let all things shine upon me in that peace, and let me bless them with the light in me. Amen. It doesn't say amen, but it feels like it is due there. So that's it for today. I hope it helped. Beautiful lesson. I actually didn't read all of it, so you can. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment. Please be here tomorrow. And we are continuing with beautiful lessons that will expand us and remove blocks of love, the blocks to love from our awareness. Namaste. Oh, like, share, subscribe, pray. Namaste.